Hi there. Let me tell you something interesting about me. Yesterday wasn't anything special. At least, that's what I thought at first. It was just one of those normal days. Nothing dramatic, no big moments. I was just moving through my routine like everyone else, checking my phone too often, thinking about things I still hadn't finished, a little distracted, a little tired. And then, something small happened. I was walking into a convenience store, not really paying attention, when I noticed an older man a few steps behind me. He was walking slowly, carefully, like every step mattered. For a split second, I almost pushed the door open and kept going like usual, but something in me paused, so I held the door, just stood there for a moment longer than necessary. He looked up, a little surprised, like he didn't expect anyone to wait. Then he nodded slightly and said, "Thank you," in a quiet voice. Nothing dramatic, no long conversation, just that. And I don't know why, but that moment stayed with me. It was so small, so ordinary. If someone asked me what I did yesterday, I probably wouldn't even mention it. But somehow it felt meaningful, like a reminder. Because the truth is, we're all moving through life a little too fast. Everyone's carrying something. Stress, worry, silent battles no one else sees. And most of the time, we don't even notice each other. But in that one moment, I did. And maybe that's what doing good really looks like. Not big, impressive actions, just choosing to slow down, choosing to notice, choosing to be kind when it would be easier to not think about it. And here's what I kept thinking about afterward. If something that small could make someone feel seen, even for a second, then maybe these little things matter more than we realize. Maybe nothing is actually small in God's eyes. Maybe every quiet act of kindness is something He sees, something He remembers, something that carries weight beyond what we can measure. So if you're here with me right now, I just want to say this gently. Try to do one good thing today. Not for attention, not for recognition, just because you can. Because I truly believe this. God doesn't miss those moments, and in ways we may not even understand yet, He has a way of returning that goodness back into our lives.
Every detail of your life matters to Him. Even the things you think are too small to mention. Even the things you have learned to ignore. Even the struggles you have not shared with anyone. Nothing is overlooked. Psalm 34, verse 18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." Stay here for a moment. Close, not far away. Near, not distant. God is not waiting on the other side of your healing. He is present within your pain. That means you do not have to hide what you feel. You do not have to pretend to be strong. You do not have to carry the weight silently. Everything you bring to Him, He receives. And as you begin releasing what you have been holding, something begins to change. The weight may not disappear instantly, but it no longer sits in the same place. It begins to move from your hands into His. That is where peace begins to form, not from control, but from surrender. John chapter 16, verse 33 says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." Let that truth anchor you. Challenges may still exist. Situations may still be unresolved, but you are not facing them without help. Victory does not begin when circumstances change. It begins when your trust shifts. Right now, you are not standing alone in what you are facing. God is present within it. He is working within it. He is holding you through it. So continue releasing.
gently, honestly. Every worry, every fear, every question, every burden. Nothing is too much. Nothing is too complicated. Nothing is beyond his reach. And as your heart continues to open, as the weight continues to lift, you are ready now to move fully into prayer. This morning, something felt different. Not in a dramatic way, nothing suddenly changed overnight, but there was a quiet awareness sitting underneath everything, like I could see my own thoughts a little more clearly, like I could notice the moments where I usually rush, and this time I didn't have to. I caught myself getting slightly irritated earlier. It was something small, someone taking longer than expected, a delay that interrupted my flow. Normally, I would have just reacted without thinking. Not outwardly, maybe, but inside, that familiar tension would rise. You know that feeling, that quick tightening in your chest, that silent frustration, that urge to move things along, to control the moment. But today, I paused. Not perfectly, not instantly calm, but just enough to notice it happening. And in that tiny gap between reaction and response, there was a choice. That's where it always is, isn't it? Not in the big, obvious decisions, but in those small, almost invisible spaces where no one sees what you're about to choose, where it would be so easy to just follow the habit, but something deeper invites you to choose differently. So I took a breath, a real one this time, not rushed, not shallow, and I let that moment pass without feeding it. It didn't feel like a huge victory. No fireworks, no sense of achievement, just a little more peace than usual. And maybe that's the point, because most of the transformation we're hoping for in life doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens like this, quietly, subtly, choice by choice. And if I'm being honest, sometimes doing good feels harder than it should, not because we don't want to, but because we're tired, because we've been stretched, because we've given a lot already, and part of us just wants to be left alone. There are days when kindness feels natural, and there are days when it feels like effort, real effort, the kind that asks you to stay soft when you'd rather shut down, the kind that asks you to stay patient when your energy is already low. Maybe you've felt that too, that quiet tension between who you want to be and how you actually feel in the moment. And this is where something important begins to unfold, because doing good isn't just about what we do for others, it's about what happens inside us while we do it. There's a verse that came back to me again today from 2 Thessalonians. As for you, do not grow weary in doing good. Simple words, but they feel very real when you sit with them. Do not grow weary, which means it's possible to feel tired. It's possible to feel like giving up on trying. It's possible to wonder if it even makes a difference. And yet, the invitation isn't to feel perfect. It's just to continue. Gently. Honestly. One moment at a time. Take a breath here. Let it slow you down again. You don't have to carry the whole day at once. You don't have to become the best version of yourself all at once. Just this moment. Just this next choice. When irritation shows up, soften a little. When impatience rises, pause for a breath. When you feel like withdrawing, stay just a little open. Not forced, not fake, just a small shift. Because those small shifts begin to change something deeper. They create space. Space where peace can actually enter. Space where God can gently work without being rushed. And maybe this is something we don't think about enough. God isn't only present when everything feels spiritual, calm, and perfect. He's right there, in the middle of your frustration, in the middle of your tiredness, in the middle of that moment where you almost reacted but didn't. That space, that quiet pause, that's where something sacred happens. There's another verse that settles into this moment. From Micah, "He has shown you what is good, to act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." Not impressively, not perfectly, just humbly. And humility looks like this sometimes. Admitting you don't feel like being patient, but choosing it anyway. Recognizing you're not at your best, but still showing up with kindness where you can. So if today feels a little heavy, if your energy feels low, if your heart feels stretched, you're not failing. You're human. And even here, especially here, you are still capable of doing good. Not all at once, not for everyone, but in the next moment that comes. Just breathe again, slowly, and let this settle gently into your heart. You don't have to force goodness. You just have to stay open to it. Because God is not asking you to perform. He's inviting you to walk with Him. Step by step, choice by choice. And even when it feels small, even when it feels unnoticed, even when it feels like it barely matters, it does. More than you think. Stay here for a moment longer. We're about to move into something deeper, but there's no need to rush. You're already exactly where you need to be. As I sit here a little longer, letting everything we've been reflecting on settle, I realize something quietly honest. Doing good isn't always about strength. Sometimes it's about surrender. Because if I'm really paying attention to myself, there are moments when I don't feel naturally kind. Moments when my thoughts are scattered, when my patience is thin, when I'm more focused on getting through the day than being present in it. And I think that's where the deeper need begins, not just to try harder, but to be held, to be guided, to be changed from the inside. So instead of pushing forward with effort, let's slow down again, just for a moment. Take a gentle breath in and let it fall out slowly. Let your body settle wherever you are. No need to adjust anything, no need to prepare yourself. Just come as you are. Because this is the place where we stop trying to carry everything on our own. This is the place where we quietly admit, I can't do this perfectly, and maybe I don't have to. There's a verse that feels very close in this moment, from John. "Abide in me, and I in you. Apart from me, you can do nothing." Not in a harsh way, not as pressure, but as an invitation to stay connected, to stop striving alone. Let that rest gently in your thoughts. Apart from me, you can do nothing, which means with Him, you don't have to do everything alone. So instead of trying to become better through effort, we begin by staying close, by resting, by allowing. And maybe right now, without forcing anything, you can let a quiet prayer begin to form inside you. Not structured, not perfect, just honest. Maybe something like this: God, help me slow down. Just that. Simple. Real. Or, Help me notice the moments I usually miss. Or even, I don't always feel patient, but I want to be. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't even have to finish the sentence. God understands what your heart is trying to say, even before you fully know how to say it. Just stay here for a moment, breathing slowly, letting whatever's in your heart come gently to the surface. No pressure to fix it, no need to analyze it. Just being seen, just being known. There's another quiet truth that begins to unfold here, from Philippians. It is God who works in you to will and to act according to his good purpose. Let that sink in. God works in you, not just around you, not just for you, but within you. Even the desire to do good, even the small shift you felt earlier, even the pause before reacting. That wasn't just you trying harder. That was something being formed inside you. Something gentle, something real, something lasting. So you don't have to carry the pressure of becoming better on your own. You're being shaped, moment by moment, quietly, faithfully. Take another breath, slowly in and out. And maybe now, just let this simple surrender rest in your heart. I don't have to do this alone. Let that truth soften something inside you. Let it release the pressure. Let it quiet the need to control everything. Because the more we try to force ourselves into goodness, the more we become exhausted. But when we allow God to work within us, something changes. It becomes lighter, more natural, more real. And maybe that's what this journey is really about. Not becoming someone completely different overnight, but slowly, gently becoming more aligned with who you were always meant to be. Kind, patient, present. Not perfectly, but sincerely. Stay here just a little longer. We're about to move into a deeper, flowing prayer. But before we do, let this be your quiet posture. Open, willing, at rest. Nothing forced, nothing rushed. Just a heart that's ready to be led. And that is already enough. God, I don't really want to start this with perfect words. I just want to come honestly, because you already see everything anyway. You see the moments when I try and the moments when I don't. You see when I choose kindness and when I miss it completely. You see the thoughts I don't say out loud, the tension I carry, the things I brush past without noticing. And still, you stay. You don't pull away. You don't get tired of me. You don't wait for me to get everything right before you listen. So I'm here like this, not polished, not perfect, just real. And if I'm honest, sometimes I don't feel as kind as I want to be. Sometimes I feel rushed. Sometimes I react too quickly. Sometimes I close myself off without even realizing it. And I don't want to stay like that. Not because I'm trying to prove anything, but because I know there's something better. Something softer, something more peaceful than the way I sometimes move through life. So instead of trying to fix myself all at once, I'm just asking you, stay close to me in the small moments. When I'm about to rush past someone, slow me down. When I feel irritation rising, gently interrupt that reaction. When I'm tempted to close off, keep my heart open, even just a little. Not in a forced way, not in a way that feels unnatural, but in a way that feels real, steady, and alive. Because I know I can't create that on my own. I've tried, and I get tired. So instead of striving, I'm choosing to stay connected, to stay aware of you, even in ordinary moments, when I'm walking, when I'm working, when I'm speaking to someone, when I'm alone with my thoughts. Be there with me, not as something distant, but as something present, something close, something I can actually feel guiding me. And God, help me not overlook the small things, because I think that's where I miss you the most, in the ordinary, in the unnoticed, in the moments that don't feel important. Remind me that those moments matter, that holding a door matters, that a gentle tone matters, that patience matters, that choosing not to react matters. Even if no one thanks me, even if no one sees it, even if it feels like it disappears the moment it happens, let me remember, nothing done in love is ever wasted. And when I feel tired, because I will, when I feel like I don't have much left to give, when being kind feels like effort instead of something natural, don't let me feel guilty. Just meet me there. Give me rest without shame. Restore me without pressure, and gently bring me back when I'm ready again. Because I don't want to live my life constantly reacting. I don't want to move through my days half aware, missing the people and moments in front of me. I want to be present. I want to be aware. I want to be someone who brings peace into a space, not tension. Not perfectly, but sincerely. And God, for the people I'll encounter today, even the ones I don't expect, even the ones I might find difficult, help me see them differently, not just as interruptions, not just as part of my day, but as people who are carrying something too, just like me. So if I have the chance to make someone's moment a little lighter, even just for a second, let me not miss it. And if I do miss it, because I will sometimes, remind me again, gently, without condemnation, just a quiet nudge back toward awareness. God, thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for not expecting perfection. Thank you for working in me, even when I don't see it clearly. And thank you for every small moment you've already placed in my life that I didn't even realize was shaping me. I don't need to control everything today. I don't need to have everything figured out. I just want to walk through this day a little slower, a little softer, a little more open, with you. And that's enough. Amen. If this resonated with you, just quietly take this into your day, and maybe, without overthinking it, do one small good thing. Not for attention, not for recognition, just because love still matters, and God still sees.